If you're someone who believes in the power of persuasion, then best-selling author Nick Shelton has a message for you through his book, An Introvert's Guide to World Domination. He says that introverts can succeed in a world meant for extroverts and excel in socially awkward situations. He joined me this week to dive into those details and so much more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. So if you're ready, we'll welcome you to the program, and we're excited to learn all about your new book and how you're helping introverts deliver their message. So great to see you, and thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure.
So Nick, I know that you spent some time in the Air Force, and it helped you to develop some of your skills to better express yourself. So first of all, thank you for your service. And I'm wondering if I could start you off by asking how exactly your time in the service helped you better express yourself.
Oh, that's a good question. So one thing that I learned there is they take these very complicated things and they break them down into very simple steps so that anyone can do it. So for example, everyone's familiar with the making of the bed, you know, how military people make their beds. And, you know, if you just walked up and said, hey, make this bed perfectly so we can bounce a quarter off of it, you know, people would say, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. But then they break it down into here's step one, here's step two, here's step three. And if you follow the steps, then anyone can make a perfect bed like that. Same with folding a t-shirt. They show you step by step how to do it. And then when you follow the steps, you get this seemingly difficult thing, you get it done step by step. And so I applied that same approach to networking. Instead of saying, how do I build a network, and thinking of it like in the macro, trying to do it all at once, if you break it down into simple steps that anyone can do, then it's very easy. And once again, anyone can do it. So the military really gave me a good view on how to break complicated things down into simple steps. And also it opened my eyes to a lot of international things because I traveled a lot internationally, and so I got to see a lot of different cultures and a lot of different ways people did things, and that broadened my mind and helped me be able to relate to people even better than before.
Fantastic. And I also want to talk about your book, An Introvert Guide to World Domination. So can you tell me about that and what inspired you to write it?
Yes. So when I was trying to learn how to network and build my network and be more comfortable in social situations, I got all the available books that were out there, and I noticed that they seem to not be written for introverts. They seem to be written for normal people. And so it was really difficult to find out what to do. And also they wouldn't start at the beginning, they'd start somewhere in the middle. So you'd say, what if I'm a complete beginner? What am I supposed to do? But they would start you off somewhere, I guess what they assume a normal person level they would be at. But I said, I need something that starts at the very beginning and speaks to an introvert's personality style. And there wasn't anything like that. So when I went into the trenches and did it all myself, I said, hey, now it's my opportunity to put this out there so other people in the same same boat, the same position that I was in, that want to improve their lives through networking, have a resource, and they have a resource that can take them from the very beginning all the way to the advanced levels. And it's all in there, written by an introvert for introverts, shy, and socially awkward people.
So tell me, during this time of the pandemic, how can socially awkward people still effectively network, in your opinion?
So that's a very good question, and a lot of people have been asking me that lately. And one thing that everyone can do right now, and this is like the perfect time to do it, is what I call being pre-known, and or getting pre-known. And that is, if there's some kind of organization that you're interested in being a part of, or even in your work industry, there's always going to be so any sort of say event or any meetup or anything like that, they always also have some kind of online forum or chat room. And so I encourage people right now, during this time when a lot of people are spending a lot more time at home and going out less, use that time to get onto these online forums. And so, for example, if I was interested in beekeeping, or if I wanted to meet the type of people that keep bees, I could find an event about that, but then there'd be an online forum attached to it. I'd get on there, and then you look for, there's always going to be 2 or 3 people that seem to be the most active on there, the loudest voices on the online chat. And so you're going to piggyback off of their comments and ask them some questions and kind of get familiar with them, so they're used to seeing your name pop up. And so you're kind of getting pre-known by them. It's kind of like a soft introduction. And then later on, when things thaw out a little bit and there's actually an in-person meetup, you can say, hey, Susan, hey, Jim, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the event. Please look for me. And now when you're walking in, you're not just walking in cold into a room of strangers. You're walking in with some people that you're kind of familiar with. They are looking out to meet you, they're expecting you, and you can go in, and usually those people that are loudest in that chat room, they'll also be well connected in that group. So you're going in at the top, you meet them, you're confirming that relationship, hey, nice to finally put a face to a name, and then they will introduce you to a lot more people than you would have met if you just would have went in cold. So you can get that advantage right now by getting pre-known. That's one thing that introverts can do during these times.
Absolutely. Shelton says that introverts can wildly be successful in a world meant for extroverts. And here's why.
Yes, so the world, everyone is used to this world that's kind of built by and seemingly for extroverts, but introverts can be wildly successful too. Normally, you'll find the introvert kind of in the shadows somewhere, behind the scenes, and a lot of us have been told, hey, you have to be extroverted in order to get ahead. That's not true. We do see people that step out into the light and speak up and do all this extroverted stuff. We do see them, get a lot of opportunities, get the raise, get the girl, get the promotion, because they're a lot more visible. But I try to say that you don't have to turn into an extrovert in order to do that. You can just use the advantages that introverts have in order to leverage those and get ahead also. And so one of our advantages is observation. And so we usually, while we're sitting in the shadows, we're observing, we're taking in a lot of information. So somebody that's out there really loud and in the spotlight, they might not notice a lot of things that we would notice. And we can use that information to go and speak up at certain times, and just so we don't have to be on all the time, we can choose our time and place to step into the spotlight or make our voices heard. And if we use it wisely, our gifts, then we are just as able to succeed as an extrovert, or succeed even easier and go a lot farther if we just use the tools that we have available to us.
And I'm curious, what would be your overarching message to people watching this about introverts and how they're misunderstood, or something you want to clear up, or something you want to share about introverts that people may not know?
Let's see. Well, uh, similar to what I said a little while ago, is that people are used to introverts just being quiet and staying, in the shadows. And a lot of times, uh, a lot of introverts just want to do that. But some really desire to have access to a different lifestyle. So there's many introverts that want to be around a higher social circle of people that they can look to be maybe a mentor to them, and people that are doing things, so like taking action, high action takers, so then some of those habits can rub off on them. It's just that a lot of times they don't know how to go about that. And so it's important to always be on the lookout to try to be able to leverage your introversion to be able to do that. So that's why I try to help people to do. But I would say that most people think that it would be really difficult for an introvert to be able to get ahead, step up, and access all these higher circles. But I think that that is not true. A lot of people think that, even introverts think that. But I think you just need to know what to do. A mentor of mine once told me the thing about when you always hear people say, I'm going all in on this thing. But it's difficult to go all in if you don't know what to do. So I think a lot of times introverts don't know what to do, but once they know what to do, then we can really excel and really do a lot of great things. So that's the overarching message that I'd like to let the audience know.
And I'm just curious, finally, when you're not selling books or trying to help people socially better express themselves, what piques your interest? What do you like to do for fun?
I love sailing. I love sailboats. So every chance I get, and it's been a little while since I live in Colorado, which is in the center of the United States, so we're not around any oceans or anything. We have some small lakes and ponds and things like that. So it's not quite the same, but every chance I get, I try to get on a sailboat. And I also like kayaking. We can do kayaking here, and that's a lot easier to do. And so, not river kayaking because I'm afraid I'll drown or something, but I do lake kayaking, pond kayaking, and ocean kayaking. And so, kayaking and sailing are my loves. I love that.
Yeah, I'm a water kid at heart myself, so we have that in common. Hey, Nick, I want to take a few seconds to thank you for joining me tonight to tell me all about how you're helping people better socially express themselves. Always great to see you, and thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.